friends, welcome back to my channel. It is time for me to do my finale on my third project pan that I was working on in 2017 and talk about the progress that I made over the course of the year in regards to panning makeup products in particular. So I'll go ahead and start with the items that I did not get a chance to finish in the project. So not really surprising here, I was a little ambitious with pulling in primers for this, and so I didn't finish every primer sample that I originally wanted to. So the ones that I have left are the First Aid Beauty Coconut Skin Smoothie Priming Moisturizer. You'll see that I rolled these into the what I want to use up in 2018, so hopefully over the course of the year I can get through all of these. I also have the Laura Geller Spackle Treatment. I used this a few times, but nothing substantial. The Josie Marin Finishing Balm, Surreal Skin Argan Finishing Balm. This I didn't even touch, but you can see what I have left in here. I also have left over the Mica Beauty Cosmetics Eye Primer. This I have really substantial progress in. You can see all of the area that I have hit pan on, and now I just have basically the letter C for product that I have left. This is a really lovely primer base, so I'm not super upset that it's not fully gone because I like it, but it is definitely on the older side, and so I'm definitely gonna roll this into my next project pan to be able to finish it up and start the year, then moving on to my new ones. I just don't wanna let this sit around anymore before it gets used up completely. Last thing that I have is something where I'm gonna go ahead and insert a picture of what this looked like, but I couldn't stand it any longer. I needed to repress it, and that is the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. As you'll see in the picture, it's really difficult to pick up a sufficient amount of product on my face brushes, so I went ahead and repressed this, and I don't know if I just didn't press down hard enough or what, but it feels like I have a lot of this product left. I'm happy at least that it repressed really easily, and now it's back to being the same texture and consistency that it was prior to being repressed. But I definitely would like to use this up. I love this bronzer a lot, but I'm somebody who isn't letting myself be freed up to test out other bronzers in my collection until this is gone. And once it's gone, it'll force my hand a little bit more, but right now I'm kind of like, why test something else when I like this so much? But I really want to take a hard look this year at my bronzer collection in particular, and the only way to do that is to actually play around with the bronzers a bit more. So I'm going to focus on using this up in 2018. Fingers crossed it doesn't take too long to do that, and then I'll start to be able to assess better my bronzer collection, because I feel like it's just too much for somebody who is this pale. Okay, so now onto the products that I managed to finish up. The first is the Sephora Gel Gloss Ultra Brilliant Ultra Shine Lip Gel. This is in the shade Pinup Pink. I didn't have a ton of this left, but man oh man, it held on for a while. I don't know if they have reformulated this gloss or just other lip products from the Sephora line, but I do like this a lot. The shade wasn't my favorite, but I would be open to owning a different shade of this if I liked the color. If you're somebody who likes gloss, I would definitely check out this particular line because the sample was really, really good. The other gloss that I finished up was the e.l.f. Hyper Shine Lip Gloss in Bare. This, I don't believe they make these types of lip products anymore, and it's probably for the best because they're really not that great. It's the kind of gloss where you could apply it a bunch, and within like 20-25 minutes it would be totally gone off of your lips. The one thing I did like, and you can see a little bit of the color left in here, I like the shade of this because it works the way to like neutralize colors on my lips. So I'll give you an example of that. I was applying Cobbler as like a sort of almost like a lip balm at the last step of my makeup routine before putting on this, and that is a stark like red shade, and red does not look good on me, but when I mixed it with this color, I really like the effect of it. I don't know if it was just like the nude champagne-y type tones mixed with the red to give this nice, almost like a little bit lighter than what's on my lips right now. It really worked well for that. Had I not had some kind of combo to work with, I probably would not have gotten through this. This is not the most like substantial financial like amazing victory, but I'm glad to have just fully worked through another lip product. It is a big deal for me because I just don't wear lip products that much except for lip gloss. I also used up the Milk Makeup Blur Stick. I didn't have a ton of this stuff left, but I really, really liked it. I own the Estee Edit Vanishing Pore Stick, I think, and I don't make it anymore, but I definitely think that if I use that up, I may end up repurchasing this one if I tend to still like that stick format. This was pretty nice. If I wasn't someone who had a lot of primers, I probably would go out and buy it right now. I also managed to, no surprise here, use up the Pore Vanishing Stick from the Estee Edit. I have a full size of this. They don't make this anymore. The Estee Edit kind of died off altogether, but I do look forward to using the full size stick because I really do like this primer. The other primer that I managed to finish up was the Pixi primer that was sitting in here. I definitely think the consistency of that had changed a little bit from sitting in here for too long, but it didn't break my skin out. The thing that I liked about that was that it was really relatively luminous, and it worked really well in the winter because your skin typically, at least mine does, it looks a bit duller and dried down. It gave it a nice illuminated touch with my foundation, so I did like it, but I'm not gonna go out and buy it just because I have so many other primers. The last primer that I have is the Smashbox Photo Finish Foundation Primer. You guys know I don't love this stuff, but I did at least work through this. I think I might have a paper sample of this, but not an actual tube, and fingers crossed I can avoid future samples of this. I really do want to try other Smashbox primers because I've heard really good things about them, but this one I just don't love because it's that silicone texture you guys heard me talk about before. I don't love the feel of that on my skin anymore. I have the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Eraser for dark circles. I didn't have a ton left in here at my last update, but I was able to finish this up. This is a nice concealer. I definitely think between this and the ColourPop one, I probably will trade on and off. If I can't avoid paying for shipping on ColourPop when I actually need it, I'll probably just buy this instead. I really hate paying for shipping that badly, especially when it's a $5 concealer. To pay like $5 in shipping would really just like bust my chops when I could probably get this without paying for any shipping fees. The last two things I have are the pencil eyeliners that I was working on. The first I have is the Lancome Drama Liqua pencil. I, as you can tell, did not finish this up. I absolutely hated this liner. It just was all over the place. Like, I would apply it on my eyes and it wouldn't be completely opaque, so I'd have to go back and apply it again. And then throughout the day, I would find that it would sort of like drift around and like just did not work for me. I do not want to have to set a pencil liner. It's just too much work, especially when I don't love this format. And I feel like because it was a liquid pencil, that it almost was too smooth, which is why it wouldn't lay down an opaque layer the first time. And so I'm not going to fuss around with it. It is just going in the trash. The last thing that I have is my Makeup Forever pencil, this teeny tiny little pencil. To give you guys some perspective on where I was at the last update, I was right there, so not a whole lot of change to this, but as you can see when I hold it up for what is actually left before you get to the stopper, I couldn't sharpen this anymore. I was trying to shove it into my Urban Decay pencil sharpener and it just wouldn't turn and sharpen, so I decided to just call it quits. This was nice. If I was a black pencil liner girl, I might want to spring for this because it was very opaque. It lasted all day. It had a really nice like matte finish to it, but I'm just not somebody who prefers it. I prefer my nice regular felt tip type of liners, but again, not bad. Glad I actually was able to use it. Okay, so now let's talk about where I ended up with my project pans for 2017. So I used up through my 3 projects 24 items. That maybe doesn't sound like the most substantial number, but the thing to keep in mind is that I used up other makeup products. I really have never been super compelled to collect throughout the year every single trash item that I've gone through for makeup. For me, doing it in a trash talk is sufficient and then I part ways with it. So I know that I've definitely used up more than 24 items overall the course of the year, but just copiously keeping track of it in these challenges where I intentionally focused on them, I've used up 24. Now, even though that number doesn't sound necessarily super substantial, it totals to $202.31, which is a great amount of money that I've managed to get my value out of. So I'm super pleased with that. And I've also managed to declutter 4 different items. If I recall correctly, those items that were decluttered are basically decluttered because they were breaking my skin out, and I'm never gonna force myself to use something that is causing my face a reaction. It's just not worth it to me. The total value of those 4 items was $37. So if I were to lump, which I don't necessarily count that as like getting my money's worth if I had to declutter it, but if I were to lump those together, it would be a total of $239.31. So all in all, I'm pretty happy with my progress. The only thing I'd like to just do more of going to 2018 is keep you guys more updated. I find that because I'm only uploading videos related to using up and project panning on Thursdays, that I tend to not film project pans very often. They typically fall to the wayside. I also don't find myself conscientiously being aware of wanting to film a project pan update unless I notice that I have a pile of things that I've used up. And with makeup, I never really make piles as quickly as I do in my challenges for body care. So I'm gonna try to really make sure I make it a point to give you guys updates at least once a month. I'd like to be able to do it twice a month, but I don't know if that's possible. I just feel like it would be more helpful to see in a more of a real-time setting how quickly I do work through certain makeup products and truly how long it does take to work through other types of products. But you know, we'll see how it goes. Hopefully I can make that change in my channel this year, and hopefully you guys want to see these project pans more often. But I would love to hear from you if you focused on panning any makeup. What were some big victories for you, or what were your total numbers throughout the year of 2017? And I'll talk to you in my next video real soon. Bye.